Hello and welcome back to another Matt Ryan video. And for the 3 of you that actually watch my videos, thank you a ton. I'm home from work today because I just don't, I don't really feel bad. I'm just congested. I got kind of this head cold that's now moved into my chest last night. So instead of subjecting my coworkers and customers to me hacking up a lung and sneezing like crazy and snot everywhere, I figured I would just take the day off and kind of just relax. But the downfall with that is I'm bored as shit. So I hung some stuff behind me here, still working on my home office. But today, what I'm going to do is I am going to go out and I'm going to take some photos with my Fuji X-E5. Now, you may notice that this is a TTArtisans 27mm f2.8 on here, as you can see. I decided to go with the TTArtisan lens for one simple fact. It was $150 versus $400 to $500 of the Fujifilm lenses. I just don't, I can't justify spending $400 to $500 on a pancake lens. It's a walk around lens, and I could be completely wrong, and I might end up just buying one anyway. I know they're fantastic lenses. I really, really do. But the problem with that is I have the 16 to 55, and granted, it's a giant lens. But it's fantastically sharp. It's a phenomenal lens, and if I need really sharp photos at f2.8 wide open, I have that I can use, and it works beautiful. Kind of, sort of future me here. I just want to say that it has come to my own personal understanding that my videos are very boring. And nobody told me that, really. Maybe one person did. But, I cry myself to sleep that night after that comment. But anyhow, I noticed that sometimes, I'll go back and I'll watch my videos and I start falling asleep. It's fantastic. If I can't sleep at night, I just play my videos and I go right to sleep. So I am really going to try to not bore the living hell out of you. I'm going to try and be a little bit more exciting with footage. Like, I am terrible, absolutely horrible when it comes to like B-roll. Yeah, so I'm going to attempt to be much better at that, to kind of keep things going, and not sit here and be a talking head for 10 minutes in a 12-minute long video. All right, today I am gearing up to go out and do some photos, and all I'm bringing with me is the Fuji X-E5. I'm not even bringing a bag. That's it, just that, right there. All right, so I got my photography socks on, so I am ready to roll. So, this time of the year is pretty difficult, for me at least, to really get photos. The reason I say that is, if you look around, all the leaves have already fallen. It's just that limbo time before snow comes. So everything's just drab, brown, dead, boring. So I find it difficult to get inspired to take photos. However, this barn back here, with how red it was a nice little inspiration for taking a photo, just because everything is just so brown. So you might be asking yourself, is this TTArtisans inexpensive lens worth it? And and who is it really for? Sorry about wind noise. I would say that this lens is really for anybody for doing photography. When it comes to maybe video, maybe not. There is no stabilization in the lens. It's all done in the camera body itself, where like the Fuji lenses all have built-in image stabilization. So it can get a little shaky. It's not quite as smooth. But for a lot of people doing video work, they use gimbals anyway, and they turn image stabilization off. So not really that big of a deal. But I would say it's more of a walk-around photography lens. And it works. It works really well, and it takes fantastic photos, as you've seen here today. It's sharp. I really don't get much CA, chromatic aberration. When I do, it's a quick, easy little fix, but I also get chromatic aberration on expensive lenses. So it happens. It's physics. It's just the way that it works when it comes to sensors and stuff like that you'll get some of those little aberrations. But yeah, I love this lens. I love the camera. I love the combination. I love trees like this. Just old, weathered trees. You got a little bit of lichen there. You got just kind of difference in color. Just really like that. I think they make great photos. Maybe I'll become a tree photographer. Maybe when I grow up. So I just shot something that I really liked, and I really like the JPEG straight out of the camera. And I'm using a film recipe called Portrait 800, version 3 or something like that. It's that tree with that bright background. It's backlit, so the tree is completely like almost silhouetted, just a little bit of detail, and it looks really nice. So I'll show you that right now. This little TTArtisan lens actually is very surprising for how good it is, for how cheap it is. That's what I should be saying. I can't call it cheap because it's actually made very, very well. It's metal construction, the aperture ring and the focusing ring all runs nice and smooth, and it feels like quality. So for how inexpensive it is, not cheap. Cheap is a bad term. I save that for Temu stuff, like the three-legged thing I'm using right now for my phone. That's cheap. Okay, so there is a lot good when it comes to this Fuji X-E5. But there are a few things that I find that I don't care too much for. Mainly in ergonomics. The ergonomics is the main thing I don't like. With having to use uh, this front grip and this thumb grip, I'd rather not use them at all, to be honest. I mean, I do like that there's a Arca Swiss plate on there. I do like that. That is a nice little feature, but I just I don't know why they had to design this. So I don't know. There's a reason these things exist. It's because the manufacturer just didn't put enough of a bump out here. As you can see, it's not much. And then your finger kind of hangs off on the bottom. Eh, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't necessarily mind it. Um, I don't care for it. It's probably the best way to explain because it's kind of slippery. It's not very grippy. The leatherette they use on this is kind of I don't know. It wouldn't be my first choice, but I mean that's a petty complaint. It's not that big of a deal. It's very inexpensive to buy one of these little grips, which I would have probably bought anyway for the Arca Swiss mount on the bottom. So it doesn't really matter. The performance of the camera is what really matters, and that's what I really like. And overall, yeah, I mean, this thing runs fantastic. Um, do I have any other complaints so far? Um, yeah, one. I don't care for the up on the top here, and I'm using my phone, so it's automatically locking on my face. I should probably turn that off. Anyway, up on the top here, you have your film simulation selector. Not a big deal. Um, I can press the top button right here and select it too. I can bind the selection to anything. I can bind it to this little rocker right here. I can bind it pretty much anywhere on this camera. And I know other photographers have said the same, that they would prefer that it was ISO. ISO would be great, or even a drive switch. But, on the back, they have your drive switch right here, and then you got to use the little joystick to select it. So it's not a huge deal. And I know they're pushing their film simulations and their film recipes and everything like that. So I do, appreciate that they have that on there. Anyhow, I just would have liked a little bit bigger of a EVF on there. But I mean, it still works just fine. It still gives you that rangefinder feel. I would still pick this over the X106 just because I can change out my lenses. Video on it, I really don't do video that much. So I don't really care about video. But video is supposed to be able to do like 6.2 K, 4K, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, not a big deal. And that's it for today's video. So, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one.